Good morning. Welcome to Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Church in Pasadena. Welcome to all members, friends, and guests. My name is Taylor Chazen, and I am serving as your worship associate today. Neighborhood Church creates and grows an inclusive community of faith connected by love, spirit, and service. We acknowledge our presence on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples, the traditional caretakers of the lands and waters of this campus. With respect for the rights and wisdom of Indigenous people, we acknowledge our harmful colonial histories and commit to decolonizing our own practices, to learning new ways of being in community and with each other, in good relationship with the Indigenous people of this land and with the land itself. Today's service is led by Senior Minister Reverend Dr. Omega Burkhart, with guest Veronica Jones from the Pasadena Historical Society. Today's music is directed by Dr. Zenaida Robles with Wells Lang and the Neighborhood Choir. Please take a moment to silence your devices as we begin our service. Families with young children are always welcome in the sanctuary, and there is additional seating in the entry foyer or narthex. And I have one brief announcement. Today, after the service, members of FEMA will be outside on the patio. If you have been affected by the fires, please feel free to check in with them about services. Even if you have already spoken with them, stop by their table to find out what updated resources are available. More extensive announcements, as well as our order of service this morning, are available as a link in the Sunday email. Our order of service is also visible online by scanning the QR code on the back of your hymnal with your phone camera. Again, welcome to Neighborhood Church, whoever you are and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. Welcome to this inclusive faith community connected by love, spirit, and service.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Omega Burkhart. I am a white woman with graying hair. Today I'm wearing my hair in a bun. I'm wearing my glasses, a black ministerial robe, and a stole with blue on it that reminds me of stained glass windows. We welcome all who are gathering here in person and those of you gathering online with us this morning, whether you're watching live or at some point in the future. Today we gather here in celebration of Black History Month and to honor the story of Black history in Pasadena in particular. It is the history of all of us. Our service today will center the voices of community members, some from our church here and some from our larger community, representatives from the Pasadena Community Garden and from the Pasadena Historical Society join us this morning. Veronica Jones, who helped bring the story of Ellen Garrison Clark to life, will hear more about that soon. Ellen, a lifelong teacher who is buried right here in Pasadena. Today we celebrate history, and we also celebrate a very complicated today. And as we gather today, we are launching our aspirations for tomorrow. So I invite you as a gathered community to join us in our welcome words this morning. Let us imagine two sections here of our space. This section and the choir, I invite you to say the words, "Come in." Come in. This section here, going back, I invite you to say, "Be among us." Be among us. To all who are yearning for community, come in. To all who are yearning for community, be among us. To all who are just getting started, to all who long deeper, to long to go deeper, to all the tender places that need our care, come in. Be among us. To the ones who have healed and have care to give, for those who are curious and hungry to learn, for those who know that they have something to teach. Come in. Be among us. For the ones who are just beginning to suspect that they might nurture others becoming, to the young and the old and the innocent and the jaded, the fresh of mind and the deeply steeped, there is room here for each and every one. Come in. Be among us. Come, let us worship together this morning. As we gather in this space together, I invite you to center yourselves with a few breaths, finding your body stretched tall, top of your head stretching to the heavens, and your feet firmly on the floor if that is comfortable to you. If you would like to close your eyes, please do. If you would prefer to keep them open, that is fine. Breathe in deeply, starting with your feet rooted into the ground. Finding that breath travel up through your body, exhale. Breathing deeply in through the top of your head, deep into your diaphragm and out. Find your center in this space. I invite you to join in a moment of shared silence. Breathe in very deeply and out. Stretch tall. We are going to gather in song in a moment. So stretch your bodies. Put a smile back onto the face if it feels right to you. Join us in song this morning.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Dena Robles. I'm the director of music here at Neighborhood Church. I'm a middle-aged Black woman with a short, very short haircut, large orange circular earrings, and a heavy black and white African print jacket that I purchased from Rhythms of the Village store on North Lake Avenue in Pasadena before it burned to the ground this year. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing our opening hymn, number 149, Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Rejoicing Good morning, everybody. My name is Bree Young. I'm the interim director of spiritual exploration here at Neighborhood. I am a biracial young woman with a slicked back bun and a gray cardigan on. Today I will be reading our Time for All Ages. And this story is really inspired by the rich history of Black excellence in Pasadena. Not directly, but why I chose it. Like many of you, Pasadena holds a really special place in my heart. I've lived there from 2021 to 2024. And as I look back at those years and now, one thing stands really resolute. Other than the heart of the residents, it's the artistry of the city. And so this book is called Hey Wall, and kind of links back or harkens to the public art that we can see dotted around the city in Pasadena. I invite all young people or young at heart to go ahead and come up if you'd like to look at the illustrations a little bit more closely. Here up on the screen, you can see some of those murals. The two that say Heal and Hope are new. They are by Mike Norris, muralist, and yeah, really beautiful. If you want to drive around, you'll see them. Hey Wall, you are big, a city block big, my city block. Maybe once you were full of style, but no one has taken care of you. You're nothing to look at. You're a cold, old, empty. Hey Wall, in the fall, James and I skateboard past you as fast as we can on the way home from school. In the winter, the dirty snow piles up in front of you. No one shovels. Danny and her friends on the block build their snowmen on the other sidewalks. In the spring, Grandma Addie drinks iced tea on the stoop. She talks of a time when our neighborhood was so beautiful, when you were beautiful. In the summer, the ice cream truck rolls by. We chase it to a spot far from you, where we let the ice cream melt on our tongues. Each day, we all keep our eyes down. We cheer for the tiny flowers pushing through the cracks in the sidewalk, reaching for sunlight. No one looks up at you. There's nothing to cheer for. You are only lonely concrete. Hey Wall, when we were inside with family, friends, and neighbors, there is love, there is joy. Can you smell what's cooking? We are eating together. Can you hear the stories we share about the way things used to be? We are telling jokes, belly laughing. Can you hear our music? We are salsa dancing, we are hip-hopping, we are dizzy from spinning. We want to take it to the streets, but you don't dance, you don't laugh, you don't share your stories. Hey Wall, guess what? I'm ready to change all that. I've got my pencil, I've got my paints, I've got my dreams. I am a writer, a creator, a game changer, a wall changer. James and Danny brought their sketches. Grandma Addie brought her memories. We've all brought our ideas and imagination. We give you one last look, and then we begin. I call to my family, my friends, my neighbors, and we stand right in front of you, staring you down. You are our wall now. You've become our blank canvas. Up on ladders and way down low, soon we have filled you with colors, creations, energy. You are stone, but you don't have to be hard. Hey, wall, look at you now. You are beautiful. Now you tell the real story of us, and together we are something to see. Hey, wall. The end. Thank you. That ends our time for all ages. Please join me in singing the children out to their classes. Thank you.
Each Sunday, our congregation dedicates 100% of its contributions to 501c3 organizations or neighborhood church-based social justice activities that are making a difference in our community and the world. Each selected guest organization aligns with our community's mission and values and is nominated by church members who often are longtime volunteers and supporters of these change-making organizations. You can donate in one of two ways. You can use your cell phone to donate by texting the number on the screen, or if you'd prefer to donate in person, put your donation in one of the designated boxes during the music or after the service. There's a donation box here in front, behind the back center row, and in the narthex entryway on the table. You may rise during the music to put your donation in the box if you wish. Please extend help to those in your neighborhood who may need assistance reaching the donation boxes. If you wish to make a payment toward your pledge or contribute to church operations, make a note in the subject line or use an envelope available at the donation boxes. This week, our gifts will support the Dena Community Garden. Here with more information is Alan Freeman.
Good morning. I'm Alan Freeman, an 80-year-old white guy. And I'm also a member of Altadena Community Garden, or if you prefer, the Altadena Community Garden. I live at Villa Gardens, but I've learned that it's on Villa Street, which probably is not Villa Street, is probably Villa Street. It was probably not Italians that founded it, but it's the Spanish. But who knows? But that's where I live, and I belong to the Altadena Community Garden. For 10 years I've been a member, and for over 10 years I formerly served on the board, along with our church member, Severa Grant, who served as president of the garden for 25 years. We are especially distressed that the garden, which celebrates over 50 years of existence, has almost been completely wiped out by the Eaton fire. Here's a video which shows you what the garden was before the fire.
This is Altadena Community Garden.
I've gardened here since 1982.
We've gardened here since 2013.
I have gardened here since 1983.
We've gardened here since June 2022.
I've gardened here since spring of 2021. We have gardened here since 2019.
Pasadena Community Garden started in the mid-1970s. Local residents began gardening on the grounds of the former Mount Lowe Military Academy next to Loma Alta Park. In 1984, Los Angeles County granted Pasadena residents the use of this corner of the park where the garden is today. We now have 79 garden plots and 125 garden members and associate members.
For many years, this garden has been a place of refuge, community, learning, sharing, and growing.
Anyone can visit, and anyone in Los Angeles County can become a member.
So now, here's a few photos of what the garden is today. The garden is a space of 2 1/2 acres divided into garden plots, along with a common area that includes parking, a large deck, storage sheds. Gardeners pay an annual membership fee that entitles them to use the common area, to use tools owned by the garden, and to use water, fertilizer, mulch, and their plot. Anyone in Los Angeles County can join. Yesterday, we had a meeting in person at a local dance studio, and it was painful to hear the homes lost and the hardships undertaken. However, those people came to the meeting, and they were overjoyed to hear the garden is going to continue. It will continue due to the complete resolution and commitment of the garden members and leaders who were proactive with our friends, Supervisor Catherine Barger, Norma Garcia Gonzalez, Director of the County Department of Parks and Recreation, Charles Carter, and Guillermo Portillo of Loma Alta Park. It will probably take up to a full year to clean and prepare the property, make the soil healthy again, reconstruct the storage buildings, buy the tools. But it's going to be even better than it was before. Because experts and master gardener advisors join us in the rebuilding. From the Huntington Library, they're coming up to the garden to help us create and recreate the garden beyond what the county can do. So the community of Pasadena will again have a special place for learning, sharing, and teaching children the miracle of growth from the ground up. On behalf of the current members of the garden and those of the future, thank you.
Thank you for giving generously.
It is my great pleasure to be joined this morning by Veronica Jones, who comes to us from the Pasadena Historical Society. We have a video, and Veronica is going to say a few words. If you'd like to come on up, and you can speak or you can show the video first, whichever works best for you. Come on up here.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here. I am a senior African-American woman who's wearing an African garment that my son gave me, and it was made by African women. So that's who I am, and that's what I'm wearing this morning. And I have my granddaughters here visiting with me from Maryland. They came to see how their nanny was after the fire. So I am very grateful and appreciative because it's a tragedy that I feel just nobody deserves what happened, and there's no reason or rhyme why. And I am just grateful and blessed that I am here and that we can rebuild and we can be stronger and better. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about Ellen Garrison Clark. Ellen Garrison is very close to my heart. She believed in love, spirit, and I can't read either. Love, spirit, and service. That comes from being a senior. But Ellen was a remarkable 19th century African-American activist. Long before Rosa Parks, Ellen Garrison Clark brought a federal court case to the U.S. federal courts. She did not give up her seat on the train, and that was in the 18th century. She brought the first federal case. Ellen is from Concord, Massachusetts, and she's built, I'd say, a bridge between Altadena and Concord. When Concord heard that Altadena burned, they immediately did a fundraiser in Ellen Garrison's name. And they sent money, and they're still sending money. Ellen was born in Concord. She was the daughter of slaves. Her parents were enslaved. Her father was able to buy the mom's freedom. But Ellen was a teacher and an activist. She came to Altadena and the Pasadena area, and she taught blacks to read and write in the 1800s. In 2021, the first year that Juneteenth was a national holiday, the Altadena Historical Society was able to raise funds to get her a headstone. She had been buried for almost 200 years without a headstone. Well, she would have been 200 years old, and she did not have a headstone. So we were able to put that headstone. 2 years later, we were able to put a headstone on her husband and her sister's grave. Ellen died here in Altadena. She died of tuberculosis, but she also taught blacks to read and write, and she also believed that we had to help each other and we had to reach back and grab one and bring one forward. So I say that Ellen is here in the spirit of this church. It's here in the spirit of Altadena. We are all reaching back, pulling each other forward. And I want to thank you for that and the opportunity to introduce you to Ellen. And there is more information. You Google her name, and there's so much about her and what she did long before we even knew. And the message I get from Ellen is that was over 100 years ago, and she's still touching us today. So even though we're here today and we're hurting, 100 years from now, people will look back and see what we did and learn from what happened with us. So thank you, and thank you for inviting me to be here. Thank you. You have a wonderful church.
Veronica Jones, and I'm president of the Altadena Historical Society. The Altadena Historical Society is an all-volunteer operation. We were sitting around talking in the Historical Society, and Jane, she was our president. Jane Brackman was the president at the time, which said, my sister's a quilter, quilting a quilt, and the woman on that quilt is here in Altadena. And Jane told the story of Ellen Garrison coming to Altadena because she had tuberculosis, that she was an educator and that she taught blacks to read when it was illegal to teach blacks to read. We are so thankful and blessed that we have Ellen and that we have her in Altadena. And she is our sister, our mother, our everything, our ancestor. It has brought our community together during hard times. It gave us hope. So when we hear Ellen, her spirit, what she stood for, it relates so much to today. And not only was she a woman who's marginalized, but she was a Black woman who's been really marginalized and getting acknowledged as being part of this country and its history and making things happen. It's easy to lose hope, to kind of see where is the light going to come at the end of the tunnel. But when you think of Ellen and you think of where she's come from and what she did during a time that she had to live, and she did that. I mean, that's amazing to have that kind of fortitude and to be here 200 years later and inspiring people. She walked the walk. She believed in what she believed in, and she lived what she believed in. Ellen didn't know when she took that little girl's hand that we would be talking about her today, and that her spirit, her journey to have people educated would continue in Altadena.
Your work is so inevitably important for all of us because it allows us to see where our sister is. And I just want to say thank you for giving Ellen a place to be honored, making it a place to give that gift of education to other people, because that is the true gift that Ellen has given us, is that ability to give it to them.
Ellen was not born in Altadena. She only was there a short while. And we took her in, and we love her. We love her.
I'm very thankful for the ability to show this shorter clip. There is a longer movie that the filmmakers who collaborated with Veronica and the Altadena Historical Society, they gave us permission to see. So we'll be showing that. It's about 13-minute clip movie that goes into the life of Ellison Garrison Clark in more details. So I'm so thankful for you bringing this story to us as an example of the strength, the history of Altadena, the beautiful and complex world that we are in right now, and how we learn from that, our ancestors, and what we take from that growing forward. So thank you. Join me in thanking Veronica for being here today. And a special welcome to your family who are joining us as well. We're glad that you're here too.
This next song is called We Shall Be Changed. It's a gospel tune that was arranged by my friend, Dr. Brandon Waddles. He lives on the East Coast. Incidentally, he's actually, if you guys know who Lettucey is, he's Lettucey's accompanist. But he's also my friend. And he made this song, and I wanted to honor him and honor the gospel tradition in Black music. And so we're going to sing We Shall Be Changed. This is one where you may feel like moving or standing or clapping at some point. And I'll help you because I tend to yell a lot on this song. It's the choir. I'll try not to yell. This is We Shall Be Changed. We shall. We shall. Change. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep. We're gonna be changed in a blink of an eye. Oh, in the twinkling of an eye. When that first trumpet sounds, oh, the dead in Christ shall rise. We'll see Jesus crack the sky. Oh, caught up, joy. Tell the story. Woo, oh, caught up, yeah. Ooh. Tell the story. Caught up. We shall. Change. Stand up and you lead the change. Change. Sopranos. I said sopranos. Do it again, sopranos. Altos. Come on, altos. Change from immortal to immortality. Tenors. Come on, tenors. Basses, tell them. Tell them again. Everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Change. Ooh. Change. Ooh. In the twinkling of, and the twinkling of an
I had to take a drink of water after that. Whew. Now, I am not from Altadena or Pasadena. As most of you know, I cannot claim this land or this region and my heritage. It is part of my culture, growing part of my culture, but not traditionally. And in some ways, I've asked myself if I have the right to speak on the strength of Altadena. Am I an interloper into this community? Do I have the right to talk about how special Altadena is and the surrounding community, not being from it? Questions of social location, geographic location in that case, but of identity are really important to me as I engage in my work of ministry with you. I am a white woman, and I am proud to uphold that it is Black History Month. That every day should be a celebration of Black history. How does my identity interact with that statement? Can I be authentic to who I am and also center the voices and experiences that are not my own? This morning, I thought about these questions as I replaced the Black Lives Matter sign out on the corner It seems that one was taken overnight. Just last week, I replaced the pride flag that had been taken. It's okay. We bought plenty. We're going to keep replacing them. And my thought is this: they took the metal holders too, which means they probably really like the signs. And so, you know, if they're sitting in somebody's front yard, fantastic. Now, maybe it's not enough to replace the signs. It's not enough. But it is the thing I could do this morning. That's the thing that I could do this morning. And I think it's important, especially now in an age when a national administration seems to delight in removing very real celebratory markers of worth and honor. So maybe it's not enough, but it's the thing I could do today. You can remove Black History Month from the calendar, Mr. President, and Google, but you can't make it go away. So I put out that sign this morning, and I thought of the work of Veronica Jones and the Altadena Historical Society in placing that grave marker for Ellen Garrison Clark. Ellen, who taught countless African-American children to read all across the country and was laid to rest in Altadena with no official grave marker. Ellen's life mattered, and Ellen's life continues to matter. By putting up that grave marker, it is a way to remind people of that there is loss, but there can also be celebration of the past. It orients us to the complexities of now, and it helps remind us of all of the ways that we are interconnected, all of the ways. In speaking with Veronica last week in preparation for the services, she reminded me of the writings of Octavia Butler. Now, I had read her seminal works, The Parable of the Sower and The Parable of the Talents, several years ago, long before I moved to this area. And I was deeply impacted then by the story of that gritty dystopian future that, by the way, seems to highlight that Octavia Butler must have had a time machine to transport herself to 2024 and 2025. I understood the complexity of those communities that she highlighted. So I reread it this week. I reread it, and I will tell you that fictional world feels a little too real and too timely. I quote, "There's a big fire in the hills to the east of us. We saw it begin as a thin, dark column of smoke rising into an otherwise clear sky. Now it's massive, a hillside or two," she writes, "several buildings, many houses, our neighborhood again." In the context of the fires in Altadena and the loss of homes and businesses and community and gardens that disproportionately affects the Black community, destroying generational wealth, a sense of connectedness, a sense of safety for a whole region, we affirm Black Lives Matter. We affirm it. And we affirm that Ellen's voice and Octavia's voice, those voices matter to our understanding of what being a strong community means. And we affirm that we are interconnected and that our lives are intertwined. Your loss is mine. No one is free until we are all free. And your thriving is my thriving. To be Altadena strong, I think, is to honor those past voices and the lives that created this community, to honor the African American lives that built the city and taught others, to call them ancestors and to thank them. Even for me, a white woman born in a different part of the country, these ancestors shape my world. To be Altadena Strong is to put our fire-affected community at the center of our care, Black, white, Indigenous siblings from the Gabrielino Tongva, to honor that rebuilding of their community means that we are all more stable, that we are all more safe and more rooted. And I think also to be Altadena Strong is to regrow a garden where I might never harvest the fruit myself. To be Altadena Strong is to rebuild someone else's garden. Your nourishment is important to me, to all of us, even though we might never eat a tomato that grows from there, even though we might not taste that sweet fruit of the oranges and the grapevines that line the property. We can and we must continue to foster thriving in this community, and we will. May it be so.
Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, number 118, in your gray hymnals, This Little Light of Mine.
Yeah, we can clap for that too. I am romanced by the collective of people, writes M. Jade Kaiser, rising, loving, pursuing life so fiercely. So I leave you with these words of benediction today. Love that is collective, that is, I am because we are. Love that is brave and fierce and protective, that knows there's no real aliveness for any of us without far better conditions for all of us. Love that is discerning and wise, navigating the difference between people and systems, internalized violence and cruel, egotistical pursuits. Love that rises up for our children, for the earth, and for all oppressed peoples, particular and global. Love that speaks in ancient wisdoms, threading hope across time and place. Love that is collective. Love that grows more powerful through grief and joy, connection and practice. I swoon.